Hey everyone, welcome back to another deep dive with us.
I'm Irene, and I'm excited to break down some pretty wild market moves with you today.
It's Monday, January 13th, 2025, and we're calling this one the Investing Iguana.
Yeah, why the iguana?
Honestly, some of these companies, let's just say they're making some interesting decisions today.
Decisions that are definitely worth a closer look.
We'll be focusing on 4 companies making headlines today.
Singapore Post First FIU Corporation and DISA.
We'll cover the key data news and potential outlook for each.
Should be a pretty fascinating deep dive.
All right, so let's start with Singapore Post SingPost for short.
Buckle up, this one's a doozy. We're talking a full-blown corporate governance crisis.
Oh yeah, whistleblowers' executive shakeups calls for an independent inquiry.
It all started with a whistleblower report alleging some shady dealings in their international e-commerce logistics business.
Right, they were marking deliveries as failed without even attempting them.
Not exactly best practice, and it gets worse.
Oh boy.
On December 21st, 3 top executives were fired.
The CEO, CFO, and the CEO of the International Business Unit.
Gone just like that.
And then just this past weekend, the former CEO resigned from the board.
Damage control much.
Seems like it, but is it enough?
The Securities Investors Association, or SS, doesn't think so. They're demanding a deeper look into what went down.
I can't say I blame them. This whole thing really makes you wonder what it means for SingPost's future.
Yeah, is this just a bump in the road or a sign of bigger problems?
I mean, the government has assured everyone that domestic postal services are not affected by this whole mess.
But still, it's definitely going to impact investor confidence.
And probably their long-term strategy, too. Definitely a story to keep an eye on.
Moving on to something a little calmer. First, REIT.
Yes, a nice relaxing REIT.
Well, relatively speaking. They've received a non-binding letter of intent from PT Siloam International Hospitals.
Interesting.
Siloam is interested in acquiring First REIT's Indonesian hospital assets.
Makes sense. Siloam's actually the current tenant and operator of those hospitals.
Exactly. But First REIT isn't jumping into anything just yet.
Smart move.
They've hired Citigroup to do a strategic review.
So they're exploring all their options.
Yep. Joint ventures, partnerships, asset transactions, the whole shebang.
They're really taking their time and weighing what's best for the long term.
And not just reacting to this one offer.
Yeah.
Definitely a sign of a company thinking strategically.
Agreed. Now, are you ready for some more drama?
Always.
All right, then let's talk about FIU Corporation.
Where the largest shareholder, Victor Lim, is making waves.
He holds a 29.45% stake, which is pretty significant.
Not insignificant at all.
And he's called for an extraordinary general meeting.
An EGM sounds serious.
It is. Lim is not happy with the current leadership.
And he's not just complaining about it, he's taking action.
Yeah, at the EGM, they'll be voting on removing 2 current directors.
And appointing 3 new independent ones.
Lim's reason for this shakeup.
The company's poor performance. He says it's time for a change.
So is this a power grab, or is he genuinely trying to turn things around?
Hard to say for sure. We'll have to see what happens at the EGM.
Definitely a situation to watch. Now let's end on a more positive note with DISA.
Ah, yes, a breath of fresh air.
DISA is a leading provider of employment screening and HR compliance solutions.
And they're having a busy week.
Tell me about it.
First up, their annual Day with DISA conference is on January 16th.
Over 1,000 HR professionals are expected to attend.
That's a lot of HR.
24 sessions, all focused on the latest trends and best practices in the field.
It's a big event.
But that's not all. DISA has also been busy forming new partnerships.
Lots of exciting collaborations happening.
Like their recent team-up with Fountain for high-volume hiring solutions.
And their partnership with Predictive Safety for workplace fatigue management.
Clearly, DISA is positioning itself as the go-to resource for HR departments.
Especially those looking to navigate the ever-changing world of work.
And it seems like their proactive approach is working.
For them and for investors who are seeing the value in what DISA offers.
All right, so we've got 4 very different companies, each facing their own unique challenges and opportunities. What are your initial thoughts?
Well, one thing that really stands out to me is how each of these situations reflects larger trends we're seeing in the market.
Could you elaborate on that a bit?
Sure. So with SingPost, we see the increasing focus on corporate governance and accountability.
Yeah, investors are demanding transparency.
Absolutely. Then you have First REIT and their strategic approach to long-term value creation.
Instead of just chasing quick profits.
Exactly. And then there's FIU Corporation, a prime example of shareholder activism disrupting the status quo.
It's a reminder that shareholders have power.
They do. And finally, DISA shows us the importance of adaptability and innovation.
In a world that's constantly changing.
Exactly. They're not just keeping up, they're staying ahead of the curve.
It's a lot to take in, but I think we've got a good handle on these individual company stories.
We've only just scratched the surface, though.
Right. Now I think it's time to zoom out and look at the bigger picture.
The macroeconomic forces that are shaping the global